Hello, hello, beautiful people. Beautiful people. I'm not going to be on here long. So, I just wanted to come and have a quick empowerment talk or encouragement talk, however you receive this. Um, this is build your own table. Don't really want to call it a season, I would say year. Um, Going over some things, and I'm seeing a lot of stuff in the news, and I'm seeing a lot of things changing rapidly. And what I wanted to tell you, especially as a woman, if you are, whether you're in corporate, whether you're in business, it doesn't matter. You're going to have to change the way you do things this year. You are going to have to move differently. You might have to switch, where you go, who you network with. You're basically going to have to level up, and you're going to have to work those muscles out to do so. Sometimes it's hard to have your own anything because it will seem like no one wants to sit with you. That's what it will seem like, but that's not actually true. Okay. So I'm telling you from caring, number one, I care about people. Number two, full experience. This is a different year. And I'm not saying that as good or bad. It's something that you're going to have to walk through. A lot of us have already felt some type of change last year or, the end of last year. And it's important to make sure you're surrounded by people that are stronger than you. Okay? Because you can't always be the strong one, but you can always have those people around you to walk you through. So some of the things that I'm gonna say is, uh, you know, make sure you seek God. Make sure you seek God. Secondly, um, do your research. Do your research with whatever industry you're in. If you are um, looking to change a career, looking to do something different, do your research beforehand. Don't just jump into things. This is not the year to just jump into new ventures and everything without doing your proper form of research. Secondly, thirdly, assess who you are networking with and where you're networking because old things might not work this year. Actually, old things is not going to work. Old ways, old scenes, old everything. You're gonna have to like switch up what you're doing this year. Fourthly, you know, there's a lot of I've read like a lot of people getting laid off. There's a lot of people, it's a lot of cutting and trimming going on. And I have noticed it in all different types of arenas, y'all. This is not just corporate, this is like in arts and everywhere. Stuff is changing fast. So in order to keep up with the change, just don't let it be too personal for you, like taking it as, too many emotions. We have to stay sober this year. So, sobriety, I'm not just talking about alcohol, I'm saying sober with your views of things, your opinions of things. We have to stay sober. This is an encouragement, but it's more like, I'm just kind of like, you got to really stay sober with your opinions of stuff. Secondly, I was not secondly, but I was looking at something today where HBO actually, here's a tangible example. HBO cut Issa Rae's TV show that she had on that platform, and it only went 2 seasons, but they're not renewing it. And it's surprising to everyone. And, I remember a long time ago, Queen Latifah came to Binghamton University, and someone actually asked her, like, why did they cut Living Single in its prime time? And she said she actually didn't know. No one forewarned them. No one, kind of told them that it was coming, because they were number one. And then right after they got cut, Friends came. Now, if you never knew about Living Single, you can go look at this show and you can tell that some of the things were actually stolen from that show and put in Friends. But the one thing that was missing from Friends was brown people. So, Issa Rae is very popular. She is well known. But for her show to be cut and it's actually getting views, it's a sign to everyone. You got to look at the top. Like, you got to look at what's happening at the top, what's happening to people that are actually getting support. You have to take a look at these things, especially if you are a world changer, change agent, whatever you call yourself. Hi, Latoya. Yes, I'm talking about building tables, because we got to do that this year. So she got her TV show just cut, but it's like, I am all for ownership. I am all for being independent, and it might be the long route. It might be, you got to take a little bit more stamina and muscle and blood and sweat and tears to put into your thing. But I am all for independent. You know why? Because no one can take you from your table. Once you build your table, no one can take you from it. You can sit at it, you own it, you know how it was built, you put your hard work into it, and no one can come and say, this is mine. And so what God gives, myself and you as well, is the tools to build the table. He's not going to actually build it for you in a sense of physical, like doing the actual work, but he's going to give you the tools in order for you to build this thing. It's just like he gives you the manual, just like we get in like an IKEA furniture piece or something from the store. It's the manual that he gives us, but it's up to us to actually put the screws in, to use the tools that were provided. We might have to go get extra tools. We might have to, add some things to it. But the whole point is that this year, what happened last year is not going to work. The strategy you used last year is not going to work, because things have changed, and it doesn't matter what industry you're in, what you're trying to do. You may have been doing something for a long time, 30, 40 years. It's changed. So if you haven't caught up to what's happening now, I encourage you to catch up, and catch up quickly, because sometimes we get too comfortable in the way things were, and we just want to keep holding on to that. And even church has changed for people. Even taking care of your kids, the way that I used to take care of Legend in a year ago or whatever, things have changed. Things I used to take them to is now closed. It's different now. And so when you've been rejected, do not take it personal. Don't take it personal at all. Everybody's not going to be for you. Everybody's not going to be your cup of tea. Everyone's not going to be for you. So you don't want to take rejection personally, but you want to take it as motivation. Take it as motivation. Take it as a lesson. Think about it. Dwell upon what you can pull out as the source of motivation from that, and move on. Because I'm sure Issa Rae got some other things up her sleeve with her show getting cut. She probably got a bunch of other things, but I'm not sure how she's set up on the back end. But I know for me, I'm thanking God that I don't have no strings attached to nothing. I can just build. I don't have to worry about I don't have to worry about anybody saying they own me. And I encourage you to also think about what you can own because it may not be a business. I personally think everyone should have some type of side hustle, something that they're good at, that they're making their own stream on their own terms. I personally think that's something everyone should have. Even your kids should have something, attached to their name that they can bring to the world and make it a better place. But you have to move different this year. Things are not going to work. I even like down to your eating, everything has to change because if you want to build your own table, who else are you going to rely on? Nobody else. Nobody's going to build it for you. And that's a hard pill to swallow because we we like having friends. We like to be liked as humans. We like people liking us. But when you build your own table, it might offend a lot of people. And you're going to have to stay focused and you're going to have to not get caught up in those draining conversations about, well, why will you not just do this? And, versus this, you're just going to have to be stern with people. You don't have to be rude, but I've learned that after the end of last year into this year, you have to stand up for yourself. You have to advocate for yourself and what you are trying to accomplish. Now, if it's something out of pocket and it's harming a lot of people, I'm not for that. But I'm saying if you got solid solutions, advocate for yourself and bringing them to the forefront because nobody else is going to do that for you. Right now, I'm advocating for something behind the scenes because of me not seeing it happening. For one, I always try to go at the angle of create what you don't see. Excuse me. And you got to create what you don't see. Not reinvent the wheel, but create what you don't see. And that way, you will be the answer to someone's prayer. And you are not to take the glory or the credit for it, but there are several prayers coming to God every single day about something that you are holding hostage right now. These people need to sit at your table. These people need a seat at your table. They're looking, it's like you in that cafeteria scene where you're like, where am I going to sit? Well, who can I sit with? And let's say you sit at your own table. And then that's when everybody else starts coming from all walks of life to your table, asking you, can they sit with you? Because there's no other seats left over at these other cliques and these other people that reject people. They're looking for your table. So are you going to wait to build it? Are you going to keep thinking about how, I'm not qualified? We're not qualified to go get a table from Walmart, but yet we still go get it and we still build it. We're not calling ourselves contractors after that. We're not qualified to go. There's a bunch of people not qualified to go get art materials and start crafting, but yet they go do that. Doesn't mean they have to be an artist. There's a bunch of people not qualified to teach or do these, various things, but they're doing it. They're doing it. And you can do it too. You could build your own table too. So don't think about the rejection. The rejection is like the last thing you want to think about. It's something that we all have to go through. Yeah, it sucks. It's painful. Yes, it hurts. It hurts. But last night, like the guest I had on my podcast, he said, you have to get to the recovery stage in order to move on. And I want y'all to get to that recovery stage and build your own table. Stop wasting time. We don't have a lot of time, y'all. We don't have all this time that people think. Like, stop letting people get to you. Stop letting people discourage you out of what you're good at. There's a billion bread companies, there's a billion shoe companies, there's a billion people singing, there's a billion people doing things that you already know how to do. But what makes you stand out is consistency. What makes you stand out is the perseverance. So I want you all to walk away from this as, encouraged. My laptop is going dead. Hold on. I'm gonna charge it. Why is my laptop going dead? Go and watch the podcast from last night. It was very good. Shout out to Pastor Charles. And there's a lot going on. And I see a lot of people getting laid off right now, and they're very discouraged. And they're, you can see the pain within them. But when I was let go from a job a couple years back, what I would go back and do is take a break. I would take a break, like a mental break, and I would have figured out what direction I really should have went into. It's okay to take a break sometimes. It's okay to gain mental clarity sometimes. We don't always have to be busy running a race that we made up in the first place. There's a lot of people running a rat race, and it's like, oh my God, I got to do this by this. Sometimes you got to breathe. Sometimes you got to take deep breaths, and you have to say, okay, who told me that I have to get all this done by this time? Who told me that? Did I make that up? Some of this stuff we make up, y'all. Sometimes we could be our worst enemies. And thinking that we can't rest, or thinking that we can't have our own table. And you're not going to build your own table overnight. Let me add that. It's not an overnight thing. Anything that you build, you want to build it properly. So you have to set the foundation. It's just like a house as well. A house will not be a house without a proper foundation. A house, if you have a crack in your foundation, the house is useless. If you build your table and there's no legs, it's useless. You might still be able to write on it, but who's going to be able to sit at it? Nobody. So you have to take your time with this path as far as being sober, being vigilant. I am going to be, building some things, but I know this year it can't be the same as I built other things in my past. It can't, because it's sacred. It's not something to worship as an idol or a god, but it's something that has value. And if you are not building anything with value, you might want to rethink what you're building. Think long term, not short term, long term. Because usually when things are built for long term, it'll last through the changes, through the adversity, through all of those things. So that's all I wanted to get on and encourage today. I know it's snowing in, half of America right now is snowing here. But I am so grateful for you all watching last night, and you can follow my YouTube channel, Kristen Nicole Mann. I have the podcast episode up, and you can rewatch that. And then I have so many other things on my YouTube channel that you can watch, teachings, encouragement, all the good things. So I am going to get off, but I will maybe see you later. I'm going to start talking more about this whole community of people quitting their job that I stumbled upon. It's just so refreshing when you find people that speak your language. So it's like a tribe, but there's a movement going on of people actually, caring about their health in a way that leads to wealth. And so I am going to start breaking that down as I was before this whole grocery store incident. I'm back on track, y'all. So I'm glad to be back. And yeah, follow my YouTube. I'm also Kristen Nicole Man on TikTok as well. So that's it. And I also will post a link to an ebook that I published like 2018. It is called Still Learning. And it's a 12-day, hold on. It's like I wrote it based on a Alcohol Anonymous group. I think that's what it's called, because they take you through these steps to help you. And so I wrote this book, Still Learning, a 12-step guideline to freedom within inspiration. And it takes you through a car road trip. So, and it gives you like activities to do at the end of each day. It's only 12 days that you go through. So, I'm going to post a link to that because I think it would be a good kickstart for the new year. And I think you'll enjoy it because it is a good book and it's a short read, but it's very encouraging. And I actually make sure I pull it up before. If you have Kindle already, it is going to be free. If you have Kindle Unlimited, it will be free. It was called Unlimited. All right. There it goes. Yep. You can just click this link in the comment section and it will take you directly to it. But y'all have a great day. See you later. Bye.